I'm on BT for doing that people thought I wouldn't be able to get lit doing.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Mia Bell, your host of BET Talks, and today I have the pleasure of speaking to two individuals who really pride themselves when it comes to hip-hop. I'm talking real lyricism and real production. We taking it back to the essence, with Streetz and Daringer. Now, I love this duo that you guys have going on. The music is definitely penetrating the streets, and before we jump into the project, we gotta have some fun. All right, y'all, so we're gonna play a game of vinyl stories, okay? I want you to pick best rapper producer duos, DMX and Swiss Beats or Snoop and Dre.
I'm going with Snoop and Dre. Honestly, Snoop Dogg was my first favorite rapper. Like as a kid, I was just super duper into Snoop. And him and Dre, you know, they made classics. That's what I grew up on. Like before I really selected who was my favorite, that's what was just being played around me, and I was just entranced by it.
I feel like that was like some of the first rap on TV that I seen growing up at a time where maybe I wasn't seeing it all like that or being raised in the culture.
Jay-Z and Just Blaze or Nas and DJ Premier?
I'm going with Nas and DJ Premier. And you know what I mean? It's not taken away from Hov and Just Blaze because they got classics, but the Nas and DJ Premier stuff had me in a trance before I got into the Jay-Z and Just Blaze. You get what I'm saying? Like they had Illmatic before Jay-Z was even putting stuff out, and I was really into it.
Nas and Premier for sure, I feel like was just more of an influence for me at the time to just want to be a part of hip hop culture.
Common and Kanye or Pusha and Pharrell?
I'm gonna go with Pusha and Pharrell only because Grindin' is a classic. A lot of my favorite music from Pusha T, Pharrell made it. The Second Clips album is like one of my favorite albums ever.
Daringer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Common and Ye just because from my DJ days, that was just like an album that sat with me. Like I was always able to play certain records off that album on my Saturday nights when I was still a vinyl DJ in Buffalo.
Future and Metro Boomin or Gucci Mane and Zaytoven?
I'm gonna go Future, Metro Boomin. Future's one of my favorite artists too. And a lot of my favorite Future songs, Metro Boomin made. Even when I didn't even know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Last one, Mobb Deep or Gang Starr?
I gotta go Mobb Deep. That's like my favorite group too, man. I can't even dub that.
That's real tough for me because, you know, the overall influence of, you know, what we were able to do, I feel like you're gonna hear the influence from Mobb Deep more than Gang Starr, but Guru and Premier definitely played a big influence on everything that I do as well. I was super obsessed with that group at the time, so yeah, it's a tough decision, but I'll go with Mobb Deep as well.
When you guys work together, what is that synergy like? What is the energy in the studio? Because I know with this project, you guys made it a point to be together.
Just the fact that me and Daringer is together for a whole tape, I knew it was gonna do damage. So I just made sure that I put my whole arm into the pot, if that makes sense. I wasn't trying to cut no corners or try to take the easy way out, you know what I'm saying? Like if it took me 3 hours to write a verse, then it was just gonna take 3 hours, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really trying to rush through this because I knew it was gonna have a big impact.
Absolutely, and Daringer, what did it mean for you too to make sure that you were in the studio and not just emailing these, you know, beats over and letting him do what he does separately?
Yeah, it's definitely a part of the process that seems to get lost in this day and age too. So the fact that we got to actually work in the same room over the course of a year plus, I feel like really made a difference.
Now, when it comes to the title of the project, Hatton Garden, this is a heist that really went down in London in real life.
It was done by a bunch of old men. Like they did that so smooth, but the way they got caught was kind of sloppy, but just the approach was just so dynamic. Like they tried to do it one way and it didn't work. So they came back the next day with a whole nother finesse.
I know you guys went to London to shoot the video for Starbucks. What was that experience like?
It was dope because, you know, I used to live in London for a little while. I got friends out there, you know, that probably ain't seen me in a while. We also shot like a mini movie. So the video from Starbucks is like a part of the movie in a sense. It's like 2 scenes, that's where the video comes from.
Now, on the project, we got a lot of great features. When it comes to putting all of this together and adding on somebody like Cormega or, you know, Westside Gunn, of course, which he don't make too many appearances, even on his own team. You know what I'm saying? How did you, you know, come to the list?
They all kind of just came together on their own. Like even the Schoolboy Q feature, it was more so like I did an interview, just like one of these, and they asked me like, hey, who is somebody you will work with? So, you know, he's one of the people that I mentioned. And then he seen it on Twitter and was like, yo, let's get it going.
Wow.
Cormega, people always used to be like, yo, Rome, you kind of remind me of Cormega.
Yes.
You're like the new version of Cormega. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. And you know, Cormega's already familiar with Daringer. I'm like, yo, I'm working on this Daringer project. I want you on it. He's like, yeah, for sure. Mayhem, he's family. The last album Daringer made was with Mayhem.
Yeah.
And you know, that's one of the homies, so I definitely wanted to do something with him. And then once we all packaged everything, we was ready to go, Wes heard it and was like, hold on. I need to get on this too. Conway, you know, it's just a phone call. I look at every artist as an instrument, like their voice is an instrument.
Right.
So if I hear a beat and I'm like, yo, whose voice can I hear on this? That's how I really just, you know, pick features.
Now, Daringer, for you, when you hear all of this come together in its completion, what do you feel as, like, you know, one of the chefs in the kitchen who really laid out the ingredients for these instruments to do what they do?
Yeah, it's crazy. It takes time, and then especially when we have it all together to kind of figure out the order and the sequence and everything, I feel like that's when I really have to like sit there and figure it all out. It's like a puzzle.
You guys stick to the essence of real hip hop. Does it ever feel either discouraging or you kind of wish that more people were in a space to receive it?
Definitely, I feel like we're going against the grain already in this day and age with the type of music that we make.
People always be like, yo, Rome, you gotta make this type of song, that type of song. And when I was listening to them, I wasn't really getting the results that I wanted. So once I just stopped listening to all the outside noise and did what I felt was just more natural to me, things started moving, you get what I'm saying? Like, those people that would tell me, yo, we gotta make this type of song, they still trying to make that song, and they ain't even moved from the place they was at when they told me that.
Right.
I really just focus on who's showing me the love. You know, a lot of artists lose because they be trying to get people that ain't looking at them to pay attention and disregard everybody that's loving them.
For sure. And Daringer, what keeps you inspired and really able to stay, especially in that grittiness of the sounds?
I think it's me just still digging old music and finding influence and inspiration from 70s and 80s music and on vinyl. So for me to go out and hunt and find these records still, it's a thing. It's an actual job. I feel like it's a job.
You must have a crazy collection.
I do now, yeah. Yeah, it's getting
that.
crazy.
What would you say is next?
I want to do some festivals. I like the energy of festivals. Just more traveling, doing stuff in places I've never been, connecting with fans in different countries, you know what I'm saying? Because I've done a lot of shows in a lot of places. Like, you know, I went to Japan, went to Austria, went to Tbilisi. Going to those places just inspired me to keep doing this stuff because my music is like breaking barriers. You get what I'm saying? Like, we going to places where I'm like, are they even gonna understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like foreign countries where English isn't their first or second language, they're going crazy for the stuff that I do. So it's like, you know what? I'm making an impact, not just locally, not just with the people that know me or my life. It's like all over the world, people wanna tap in with me. So, you know, if you believe in this, it's gonna happen, yeah. Sometimes a lot of people, you know, they wanted to do it like this, but they didn't even have enough belief in their own abilities. So they either got discouraged and quit or just, you know, stopped doing this. And like, you know, we here.
Why not?
We're here at BET.
Yes, exactly.
Come on with it.
For being me, exactly who I wanted to be.
That's a lesson right there, for sure.
You gotta stick to your guns, man.
Absolutely. Before we get up out of here, you're gonna play another game. Pet peeves and pleasures. Some things that are your favorites and the things that are the most annoying when it comes to what I'm gonna mention, like the music industry. Since you laughing, we'll start with you, Rome.
Net 30.
Net 30 is crazy.
Net 90. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
That's valid.
Right.
They want you to do the work at this time, but then it's like, hey, you're not getting paid till next month. It's like, that annoys me.
Okay, and what is a favorite?
Getting paid.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
I enjoy it. But
Daringer, what about you? A favorite and a not so much?
Not so much, for sure. Sample clearances. Always a headache. Based off the type of stuff that we generally like to make, that's always an issue for Things that I like, I would say having a marketing budget for a project rather than just putting it completely out independently.
Okay. What's your favorite about collaborating on an album?
Favorite thing with collaborating on an album with one person, it keeps the sound cohesive. But then sometimes when you work with one producer, they may only be capable of this.
Right.
But then again, it kind of pushes your creativity because it's like, you know what? This is what I got to work with. How can I make this more than what it is?
You kind of figure out whether you have that chemistry or not within the first couple records. So it's like once you do solidify that, I feel like it's just easier to just get along and just get to the finish line. Something like that for sure.
Now, what about growing up in New York?
My favorite thing about growing up in New York is we like the center of the world. Everything that you could possibly want is here. But then also, the one thing that may be bad about that is that you get spoiled. Once you go to other places, it's like, they in the store on the corner? I gotta drive 20 minutes to the store?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God.
What is this? Where am I at?
Where am I at? Like, what the hell? Like, everybody inside at 10 o'clock? Like, you know what I'm saying?
For me, growing up in Buffalo was a lot different. Small city, small town, so really not too much going around. Obviously, super difficult to flourish as an artist.
Yeah.
So to even just surpass that and be able to make a living in New York City, it's a big thing.
We hear New York all up and down through the project from both of you guys, and this is why we do it. Thank you so much for being here. BET Talks, Hatton Garden Holdup, Stream the Project. Yeah, we did it.
Thank you.
BET Talks.
I'm on TV, man.
Yeah.